Welcome back, everybody, to Funimationcon. I am Karen Mahorn, and this is my co-host, Matt Acevedo. If you're
Hello.
Hi. If you're live tweeting us and shouting us out on social, please use the hashtags FunimationCon and FunimationCon 2020. Matt, that Attack on Titan Season 4 trailer, what did you think?
That was insane. There's so much to look forward to. The animation is like, it keeps getting better and better every season. And the fact that we're even getting a movie that's recapping the first season 2 and 3 is awesome. Can you imagine the animation in it?
I wasn't ready for that. Yeah, at the end of the panel, when Kensuke Khan, the producer of Attack on Titan, told us we're getting these compilation movies, I think that's great because there's been like time that's passed in between the seasons, and it's going to be wonderful to sit down and like watch the whole thing again from the beginning. But that panel was amazing.
It was awesome, guys. Just one of the many huge announcements happening here at FunimationCon. Guys, if in case you are just joining us and you missed any of the panels from today or yesterday, we actually have a panel recap for you on our blog at funimation.com/blog. Go over there to see all the things that you've missed and get caught up. Things like Naruto coming to Funimation, Funimation expanding to Mexico and Brazil, which is like a really, really big deal. I got into anime because when I was a kid, I don't remember which channel it was on. It was either like Telemundo or Univision, but like I would watch Dragon Ball Z in Spanish at my abuela's house, and that's what got me into it. Yeah, like that's
was it subbed or was it dubbed?
It was dubbed in Spanish. It was awesome.
That's amazing. Awesome. Yeah, and they're gonna be leading with Tokyo Ghoul, and it's gonna be dubbed in both Spanish and Portuguese.
Yeah, which is amazing. It's so cool. Along with that, they're going to be showing Tokyo Ghoul Re. That's gonna be the first thing that's gonna be dubbed for that. We also revealed that there's gonna be an upcoming K-Swiss and My Hero Academia collaboration that looks sick. And as of today, just a few hours ago, The World Ends With You, the animation based off the Square Enix game, is coming to Funimation in 2021. What a trip.
I gotta tell my boyfriend, he played that game. He loves that thing.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Also, we had the Fire Force season 2 premiere yesterday with the second episode as well. That doesn't come out till next week. It's been
and you were the panel host for that, and I have to stop you because you did an amazing job. That was like a super fun panel. We covered season 1, season 2. We got like all these new hits and new characters. My favorite, Ogun Robinson. I'm sure I heard Cheyenne earlier. It's her new favorite character too. But yeah, that panel was amazing. You killed it.
Thanks, man. Everyone else killed it for tuning in. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Just a reminder, y'all, that we are going to be going into spoiler territory in these panels, but please, in the chat, keep spoilers out of the chat. We don't want to spoil it for people who are maybe just looking at the chat. If you do want to talk spoilers, though, we actually have a Funimation Discord with the spoilers tab that you can go in and talk about all the spoilers you want. There's actually a link right above the chat, right above your window, I think over there. Click on that and spoil away. But up next, guys, is One Piece, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited, Karema.
Yes, and here's the thing. I'm just telling everybody, do not tweet at Matt in this next panel, okay? Because he's busy. He's a huge One Piece fan. He's going to be busy. He will not answer. It's going to be...
Orewa Naruto.
See what I mean? It's going to be... This is going to go on for the rest of the night. The One Piece voice actor panel is coming up. It's going to be hosted by Jocelyn again. She's coming back, Jocelyn Rios. And then after that, we got Crafting with cosplayer Stella Chu, which is hosted by my buddy Chris Lamb. And then a special interview with legendary Seiyu Masako Nozawa. And there's so much more.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, and it's insane. I'm so happy that Funimation is dubbing One Piece again. It is like they have a lot of work at it. They're doing an amazing job. But the fact that we're getting an actual dub from them is so incredible. And if you guys are caught up with the Japanese translation, like Wano Kuni is insane. No spoilers. I won't say anything else. Also, like, what happened with Sabo? What's going on? Who is this shadowy person, Imu-san? It's like One Piece.
See, look, you're gonna give it away. There's a spoiler thing in Discord for that, man. So listen.
See, go into the Discord, talk away. I'm gonna go in there and talk about it. So if you guys want to talk about it, let's go in there and
he'll be in there. Also, we have an exclusive interview with voice actor and ADR director Caitlin Glass, hosted by Jackie Jing. Up next, let's get to it. One Piece.
Check
You're
it.
a star, Mama. You're a star, Mama. You're a star.
This is just the breathing. I can't. Hey everybody, I'm Jackie Jing with Funimation, and so excited right now. I am with actor-director Caitlin Glass. Woo woo for FunimationCon! Yay! So excited to talk to you. You have such an impressive career bio. You've worked on great projects: Fruits Basket, My Hero Academia, Full Metal Alchemist, just to name a few. So to start off, we really want to know, how did you get to this point? You've had an incredible journey. So how did your voice acting career for anime begin?
Wow. Okay. Well, it was a long time ago, back in 2004, if you can believe that. So I think maybe some of our con goers were not even born yet, which is wild to think. But yeah, I was already a fan. I almost had my degree in theater, and I'm friends with Nathaniel Harrison. He runs all of the engineers. At the time, he had been working at Funimation for just a matter of months, and he knew that I was an anime fan, and he said, why don't you come up? I'll give you a tour. I don't know how to get you a job or even an audition, but if you just want to see the studio. And I was like, yeah, because I like anime, so heck yeah. So that's what happened. He took me on a tour. I had a great time seeing how it all worked. And at one point, I stepped into one of the studios, and Eric Vale was there, and this guy right here, he was there directing, actually, on, I think, Yu Yu Hakusho, but he didn't have an actor at the time. So they're pretty used to tours, so he barely looked up from whatever he was, looking at. Oh, hey, what's going on? When I mentioned that I was a theater student, or maybe Nathaniel mentioned it, suddenly he kind of perks up and he starts looking through his papers a little more furiously. Then he tells me to get into the booth. And I'm like, okay. I just thought it was part of the tour. Like, this is what they do.
That's wild.
I know. So I get into the booth and he says, okay, put on these headphones. Here's a script. And at the time they were paper scripts on music stands. And it's like, go to this page. I want you to say this line. You're going to hear 3 beeps. And then after the 3 beeps, you talk and say that. I'm like, okay. So I did. The line is, ugly creep, how about I mace you?
Yes. I love it.
I know. It just set the stage for my whole anime career, really. And I still don't know if it's like this kind of mace or like this kind of mace. Why not both?
Love it.
So I said it maybe once, twice.
Yeah.
Came out and I thought, well, that was a fun part of the tour. And he goes, great, give your info to Tara down the hall and you can work here.
That is wild.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. And I kept trying to give him my headshot and my resume because as a good actor, I did come prepared with those things. He's like, I don't want that. I don't want that. Just give Tara your phone number. I'm like, okay. So before I left, that's what I did. And that was on a Thursday. And I was back within three days. I was recording there on a Sunday, actually, with Christopher Sabat as my first director in the first episode of Case Closed.
Oh, I love that. I would love to ask you, do you guys ever have to make like sound effects? In anime, we hear like so many strange, funny noises. Can you think of one that was like particularly strange, or I don't know. I just always think of like oomps and like sneezes, and I don't know. It's just like, how do you do that stuff, I guess?
Sure. Those are called reactions, and they are like half of what we do. Like, yes, it's great. Be an actor, know how to read. You also have to make these sounds. Why? Because anime characters do. Because if you don't make a noise while you blink, do people know if you blinked? I'd say one of the strangest but most fun that I had to do was in a show called Bakano. I play Miria, and there's a part where Miria and her partner in crime, Isaac, played by J. Michael Tatum. I love these characters so much. They are going down the road in like a car, and they're on a cobblestone road. So they're bouncing. Time travel show, but they go around in different decades. So who knows when it was, but this is not a very smooth vehicle they're riding in, along with Cobblestone Street. Okay. So, and we're talking while this is happening, and it's this big action, you know, a lot of energy. So I was trying to just like bob my head or just fake it and be like, hi, how are you today? This is great. And the director's like, that does not sound like you're going down a cobblestone road at all. You kind of sound like SpongeBob or something like, Anyway, so what did we do? Tyler Walker was the director. I had to like clasp my hands in front of me and physically do this while we were talking so that it would give this effect. And also Miri is really happy all the time. So this is like, she's not affected by the fact, but Caitlin is getting a workout doing this thing and all that. And I think he made Tatum do it also. So that's the most memorable. How do we get the right sound?
I wish that there was video of that. So.
I do too, because Michael and I were so synced up. You know, we record one at a time, not with each other, which when you play two characters that are always seen together and like finishing each other's sentences and stuff like that, it can be kind of tricky. But at the time, he and I were in a lot of things together. Like we just finished Oron. We had just done or were doing the second season of Gunslinger Girl, and he stepped in and was my counterpart in that. We've just done like Heroic Age. We were always together in every show. So here we are again. And there are times when Michael's character, Isaac, will be doing things on screen and he'd find himself just doing stuff too. And they're really weird. Like they'd like wave their arms around. They have all these goofy postures. Apparently he and I would just naturally do whatever they were doing all the time. And yeah, I really wish that we had video of that also.
So you've played so many different characters. Do you remember a character that you just immediately clicked with? You're like, I know what I'm doing. I got this.
Sure. Well, very recently I got to play a role that is so near and dear to me now, and that is Melly in Radiant. And she actually has two voices because of her in the show, it's called her curse or her infection. She has like a second personality that comes out sometimes, similar like to Launch in Dragon Ball. And that I immediately knew what her second personality was going to be like. Because to me, it's that nasty person that you want to be when you get immediately furious about something, but you know better, so you put it away. You know, nobody ever sees that person. And I was like coming across the role, I'm like, there it is. I get to let it out. Yes! Shamelessly going, and I'm going to be playing that part, thank you. And then her normal, most of the time personality is very, very similar to Winry. So I started there. Like I said, it's nice to have a place to jump off from, even if that place is a role you already created, a voice you're already using. So it's like, okay, so the Winry voice, but let's add a little bit more breath sometimes, and let's add a little bit more over politeness sometimes. And then her other self is a lot lower pitched, a lot lower, and more harsh and raspy, and really fun. If you haven't seen it, she's a blast.
I do have to wrap up here, but I wanted to ask you, what do you enjoy the most about voice acting? Like, what do you absolutely love about doing this?
I love the range of possibility in animated stories. When I was younger, I thought that I wanted to be an animator because I love cartoons so much, but I really do not have a knack for drawing. So that didn't happen.
You're still very talented though, so
thank you. But I love the idea that somebody can think of something, and if they can draw it, and now it's real, you know, like now it's a story. And so the fact that I get to be even a small part of that is, my dog again, is really great. Really great is an understatement. It's so very, very special to get to be working on something that I love, to think that I found anime because I needed a hobby. I was already acting, but I needed a hobby at the time, and anime was it. And then shortly thereafter, now it's my job, and more than a job. It went from a gig to a job to a career, and I'm so very blessed.
Thank you so much for joining us. We love you so much. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us, and don't forget to follow Funimation on social. Bye.
Bye, guys.
So you know the One Piece dub episodes are coming back, but do you know how they're made? My name is Jocelyn Rios, and we are so excited about the dub coming back and so grateful that we get to work on it that we want to show you the process of how we dub this amazing legendary show. So are you ready? Let's go. We're here with Colleen Clinkenbeard, the voice of Luffy, and also a producer at Funimation. Hi, Colleen.
Hi.
So the first thing we wanted to ask you, just in case anybody doesn't know, can you walk us real quick through the process of dubbing a show? Like from
Sure.
we get the
We get the materials from Japan, which involves a materials department, and then those materials go through translation. So we have our in-house amazing translators who make sure that we know exactly what is being said in the Japanese version, and they also give us some kind of background on things that we might not know about Japanese culture that comes up, specifics about idioms that we might not translate precisely when we do the dub. And then from there, the translation goes to our ADR scriptwriters who fit it into the mouth movements of the characters and make sure that it sounds like people talking. And then it goes to a director, which in the case of One Piece, we have 3 directors working on it, who all have sections of the dub that they're working on at the same time. And they take that adapted script and they cast the characters. The actors come in and record with the director and an engineer. And once the episodes are done and have gone through a review process with Toei, we move on to mix, and then it gets headed out the door by a whole group of other people that I don't know as much about their process.
We're here with Anthony Bowling. He's one of the directors for the new One Piece dub episodes. Hi, Anthony. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for coming and visiting.
Awesome. So the One Piece dub is back. How do you feel about being a part of it?
It's 600 and something episodes, so I initially was like, nah, I don't know. But the more I thought about it, I was like, no, this has a legacy, a history, and they're asking me, and that's really cool because a lot of other directors have done it. So I thought, you know what? Instead of being scared, let me hop right into this and attack it head on. So now that I've been doing that, I mean, it is still intimidating, but it is incredibly rewarding and so much fun. Oh, that never gets old.
I was so excited when I found out. I mean, we've been waiting. We've been continuing the sub for so long, and we all just kind of waited to see when we would be able to get back into it. And then when they finally told us, I definitely squealed. I was very excited.
I had to start almost from scratch to kind of look through. So eventually it was like, cool, well, let me look at Punk Hazard. And then that's almost like the rabbit hole where it's like, okay, here's Punk Hazard, and then here's who's important in it. And then here's who it goes into a backstory of, and then here's new characters.
And you just finished recording the Punk Hazard arc, right? So what was your favorite part?
Let me get it one more time. Favorite part of the Punk Hazard arc? Probably Jerry Jewel. Jerry got to be as Jerry possibly can be.
Well, what do you think? I like wearing a leash? Like someone's wretched lapdog? I'm the great mastermind, Caesar Clown!
So I really enjoy him. And it's always fun to see the new villains that come in. And some of them you get attached to, and some of them you're like, and him I was a little attached to. Like, it was fun to have him around, and every time he was in the scene, it would be more interesting.
So Punk Hazard is a big arc for Caesar Clown. How were you excited about hearing that you were coming back into the booth for it?
Yeah, anytime I can get in the booth, and I love his character, so I was excited. We get to find out more about why Caesar Clown is doing what he's doing, I guess is a good way of saying it. And we get to find out a little more about his character, which is not exactly a respectable one.
Coming to the dub after so long, like you just finished this arc, what are the parts that stick out the most for you?
I love it anytime that Chopper gets to Doctor. He really gets to play the hero in a lot of ways in this arc. It's really moving and it's just really fun.
He'll do whatever it takes to get the job done.
To get to see him come into his own and really show a lot of confidence, which is not something he shows very often. The show does such a good job of showing his progression and showing how much he grows, and like he really does gain more and more and more confidence with every arc, and I feel like this one is just more proof of that.
I miss Luffy. Yeah. I just missed him. I talked about it all the time. Anytime I talk to people at conventions about One Piece, there was, during the gap, there was like that acknowledgement of your friend being gone.
And your friend is Luffy, who is awesome.
My friend is Luffy, who is awesome. Yeah, you want to hang out with that guy.
Yeah.
Maybe, don't get too involved.
It was really cool to see, once again, Chopper growing in his ability to trust. It's really neat to see the change in relationship that he has with Law, actually. I really like how that has developed. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to have any spoilers. Yeah.
It's like coming home. Like you get in the booth, and I've been with that character for so long. It really genuinely is like having a friend come see you after a long time away. Like I love it when he does that. Oh, I missed that. And then there are the little elements of like, oh, that's right. That's where that hurts. That definitely comes with it. I had forgotten how much it makes me scratchy, but gosh, I just love him so much that I don't even care.
It is such a huge honor to get to step back into this franchise. When I've been to Japan and I see so many different signs and everything and like all these things with Chopper on it, it just feels like such an iconic character, and it still blows my mind that I have anything to do with the show, let alone such a fun and cool character with like the best character design ever. It's so awesome and humbling to get to be a part of it. And I'm so happy we're back.
Yay! So that is all that we have for today, but follow us on our social media channels, and on the next one we'll show you even more about the process of dubbing the One Piece anime. See ya!